What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Swisher coming back at you. You know what I'm saying? With my own personal Texan thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Before I get into, the main topic of my video, I want to give a huge shout out to LAIR, man, because I was just watching two of his videos and I actually want to talk about those two first. The first one was with DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, let's start there. And I perfectly agree with my boy LAIR on that one. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the case of the Texans, let's face it, they went and got they went and got, I think DeAndre went to them personally, was like, look, if y'all don't do something, I'm not pulling a Dre. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, yeah, we don't want to turn back into a sorry ass team. So Hopkins had the leverage there. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people would say, well, you're a player. You get paid to go out there and play the game. Last time I checked, those people that go out there and play football games are human beings just like me and you. You know what I'm saying? Take that into consideration when you try to think like that. Put it all into consideration. These people are human beings. They got feelings and emotions just like we do. If you stomp your toe and when you get up in the morning, you can be like, wow, and you probably gonna have a fucked up attitude, probably going to work, you know what I'm saying? And you probably gonna take it out on half your office just for stomping your toe. Maybe not. That's what some folks, I've seen it, you know what I'm saying? Now, there's that, now, like I said, with Hopkins, man, I definitely don't want to trade him, but if it did happen, I wouldn't be all that upset. Why? Because, for one, don't get me wrong. Let's just, before I go any further, I'm going on record and saying I fucks with DeAndre Hopkins. I as a Texans fan and as a Clemson fan, I fucks with DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't make me biased or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I just spit facts here. You know what I'm saying? Reason why I wouldn't be all that upset because it would really depend on if they went and made the extra moves out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? To reconcile what they did. Now, personally, I don't want them to trade it. You know what I'm saying? But if it did happen, I have a lot of confidence in Jalen Strong, which for some reason, whenever they talk about him, the Texans on NFL Network or anything like that, they're quick to mention Hopkins with, of course, Fuller, of course, being a first round pick, and then they instantly go to Braxton Miller, you know what I'm saying, who, and I'm like, again, being unbiased, hasn't contributed in a major way, to this team's success as of yet. Whereas Jalen Strong, on the other hand, like it or not, those Colts games when he came up big and scored, think about it. If he don't score, we're behind, in the division game, which affects our playoff schedule. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen the flashes, of what Jalen Strong can really be, and this is just my personal opinion, you guys are more than welcome to attack me or agree with me, you know what I'm saying, in the comment box below, you know what I'm saying, but in my personal opinion, Jalen Strong has a more physical skill set than DeAndre Hopkins. Now, of course, from a ball skills perspective, I got to give it to Hop. You know what I'm saying? But from a athletic standpoint, Jalen can do everything that Hop can do. Like, let's just put that out there. And he's what, an inch taller? I know that may not make a difference to some, but in the NFL world, it does. And I feel like personally, he's the one guy that's highly underused in the offense because sorry about that, y'all. I hate to bring Madden into this, but Let me throw that out there real quick. Each year they make Madden more and more comparable to real life. Now, unless you have, one of the top rated corners on, a guy like Jalen Strong, they got his release and all that is like at 87, which is pretty fucking high, for a receiver. You know what I'm saying? So for you to press him at the line, I don't really see that happening with a lot of DBs, And like I said, and going into this year, whoever's the starter at quarterback needs to sit down with Bill O'Brien and say, look, we need to utilize everybody in their skill set. In my personal opinion, if they're gonna let go, and I know I'm talking about DeAndre Hopkins, but just throw this out there real quick. If they're not gonna bring back Jonathan Grimes, you know what I'm saying, go ahead, do right by the man. You know what I'm saying, cut him, let him go somewhere else. Because we really have a replacement guy for that. Like it or not, Braxton Miller is Jonathan Grimes 2.0. Well, he's more athletic, you know what I'm saying? Way more athletic in my opinion. But the same things that you was getting out of Grimes, you can get that same production out of, Braxton Miller. That's just my opinion. You can have him coming out of the backfield and have him line up on a linebacker, and have him running, quick routes. Linebackers aren't typically, they don't have good agility, So, put him out there, match him on linebackers, try to take advantage of that, when you can. Now, back to this Hop situation. Now, like I was saying, in my opinion, only thing that separates them two is ball skills. That's, and really it's not by that much, with Jalen Strong and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, like I said, moving forward, I would want them not to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I, like my boy L. Sticky LAIR said, and this is the one thing that I did disagree, in that video. To hell with waiting with next year, sorry L. Sticky, but if you wait till next year, odds are you probably too late. You know what I'm saying? It's like my old coach used to tell me, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing the fuck up. That's just being real. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, they need to take care of DeAndre's contract like later on today or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Get that shit out of the way so this way the business is done. You know what I'm saying? What did your mom, everybody that's probably watching the video, you got a mom. Your mom's always used to tell you, take care of your business first. You know what I'm saying? And then you can go outside and play and bull jive and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But take care of your business first. Same goes for the Texans, man. Take care of your business. Get DeAndre re-signed, you know what I'm saying? And let's get to work. Now, the Kevin Johnson versus AJ Boye discussion that came up in his next video, I definitely agree with a lot of shit that was on that video, and some things I'll just get to it, Now, in my personal opinion, I go with Kevin Johnson as well. Versus, when you doing a comparison of AJ Boye versus Kevin Johnson, and here's why. Now, I get it. Everybody that's in the NFL is talented because you wouldn't be in the NFL if you wasn't. But it typically does mean something when you go undrafted, all 32 teams passed on you 7 times. You know what I'm saying? So it must have been something, like I said, I'm not in the football world. I don't know. So I don't have the answer for that. So I want to apologize for not being informed on that, but I'm not in the NFL world. I'm not informed on that. Sorry, guys. But yeah, from an athletic standpoint, if you ask me, Kevin Johnson is more athletic than AJ Boye. Again, not being biased because Kevin is still here. Just being honest and about it. As far as ball skills, I would say AJ Boye has a slightly better better skill set when it comes to ball skills, you know what I'm saying? But it's not by that much, you know what I'm saying? So it's manageable, you know, with a guy like Kevin Johnson. Now, as far as technique, and this is where AJ really stood apart, you know, because AJ was a technician, and you can really tell that, you know, he 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 stuck with it. You know, he bought into the program, and he took his technique serious, and that's what put him in position a lot of times to make good plays for us. Now, it sucks and it's fucked up that, you know, he copped out, you know, and went for the money in Jacksonville, you know, because you were on the championship caliber defense, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless of what Jags fans may want to say, what other fans of other teams want to say, the Texans got a championship caliber defense, and that was without J.J. Watt last year. You add a three-time defensive MVP back into the lineup, and that defense all of a sudden goes back to being where it rightfully belongs. And it's crazy because we was number one as a overall defense last year. You know what I'm saying? And that was without JJ. I can guarantee you the scoring, people are going to score less on us now that JJ's coming back. He's going to effectively affect the pass rush because you can't single up guys anymore. It's you know, and I'm going to come back to the Kevin Johnson thing. You know, a lot of you guys that are giving Rick Smith shit, pump your brakes a little bit, man. And I'm one of those people, you know what I'm saying? So I check myself before I had to say anything to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I was giving him a lot more shit than probably you guys ever will or know, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a diehard Texans fan, you know what I'm saying? If they cut me open, you know what I'm saying, you'll probably see deep steel blue, you know what I'm saying? That's how much I love this fucking team, you know, but man, just cut the man some slack, man. The dude he's quietly rebuilt this team into a championship team, and you know, a lot of you guys are just ready to throw him out like he's yesterday's trash, you know what I'm saying? And this man, without him, you wouldn't have no JJ, you wouldn't have no Whitney Merciless, you know what I'm saying? Which it kind of took him 4 years to come along, but that's another story for another day. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure every other GM that probably would have been around in 2014 would have picked Clowney anyway, you know what I'm saying? Some probably, one or two may have picked Mac, you know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day as well. But back to this Kevin Johnson thing, you know, and AJ Boye. Now, personally, as a Texans fan, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really want Houston to just say, okay, you know, we don't have a first or a second going into this year's draft. Okay, they say we're the New England South of the AFC, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, let's give them reasons to actually say that. Let's go give Philly, you know what I'm saying, a third of next year and say a fifth of next year to bring in Dorial Green Beckham. Now, I know he was shipped off from Tennessee because he couldn't so-called grasp the playbook, or, you know, he didn't run good routes and all that. Personally, I feel like those mistakes are correctable here in Houston. And like I said, as much as I like Savage, man, I just really think that, you know, Watson is gonna come in, show out, and take the job from him, man. I just personally believe that. Now I hope Savage can keep it competitive, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to see it, you know. But like I'm saying, with the Dorial Green Beckham move, I want to see him in a Texans uniform because it adds an element to an offense that we don't have, which is a big body. See, you guys have gotten, what's the word I'm looking for? Spoiled. You know what I'm saying? And you think that DeAndre Hopkins and Braxton Miller are big body receivers. No, they're not, my friend. Andre Johnson was a big body receiver. Larry Fitzgerald, that's a big body receiver. Calvin Johnson, big body receiver. You know what I'm saying? But I'm coming up on 15 minutes, man. Give me the comment and something like, in the comment box below. And as usual, like, sub, and peace. And as always, go Texans.